So Laura, I know that you have had a very busy schedule since you've taken on this youth leadership role for the United Nations. Can you tell us a little bit about what that has involved and what lies ahead for you in the lead up, particularly with the post-2015 development agenda?
Yeah, so I've had a really exciting start to the year. I started this role basically 1st of January and I will go through to the end of December. And what I've been doing is travelling all around Australia, talking to different groups of young people to find out what are the key issues that we care about. Is sustainable development on the agenda? And I can tell you it certainly is for many young Australians. Then in September, I'll actually travel over to New York, where I'll join the Australian mission to the UN General Assembly, and I'll have the opportunity to deliver a statement there to our world leaders on behalf of Australian youth. So it's really exciting to be part of this process, this conference, and an ambassador for Melbourne Youth Force, because something that's become quite clear to me through my consultations with nearly 8,000 young people is that we care about sustainable development and we want to be involved in the post-2015 development agenda.
And so we have had some amazing dialogue up here today, and we've had some pretty clear direction from the 5 young peers sitting next to you about some of the things, not that they want, that they know must happen if we're going to advance our global response to HIV. So how are you in this role that you now have this opportunity? How do you think you can help put some of these actions into practice?
I think one of the key things that's really come out from the discussion on the panel is the need for young people to be quite effective and constructive in our advocacy. So it's quite clear that we've got this action plan and we've got some really valuable solutions. The next step then is making sure that our political leaders on a national and international level are listening to this document and partnering with us to implement it. So I think one of the key ways that we can do that is through more roles such as mine, where young people are really integrated into the decision-making process. And so we've had a few comments about how there can be a little bit of a tendency for young people to be involved in a way that is a little bit tokenistic. And so that's something that we want to move very, very far away from. And a way to do that is by integrating young people within conferences like this. So instead of there just being one youth portion, young people are in every single session. Young people are in the front row. Young people are standing up and asking questions. And we're bridging this gap between generations, which I think has been an issue for some time.
I think you raise a really good point there, and that is, young people have a lot to contribute, not just to issues relating only to young people. Young people, just like any other citizen in the world, have a right and a responsibility to be contributing to all issues that affect your lives. I'm actually wondering whether anyone else here on the panel has a question for Laura. Is there something that you would like to see Laura do when she gets over to the General Assembly that you think could actually be that stepping stone for taking something? Is there something that above all else jumps, in your hearts passionately that you want to see happen and be raised in that forum? I'm going to pass the microphone.
Well, I guess the first step would be to take the action plan to the UN and not ask them, but demand them to take that under advisement and support us and the organisations on the regional levels a lot more. But yeah, I think that's the main thing.
I will take it to the UN, and if the doors are not open, I will shove them under each door to make sure that the message gets there.
Very good. So we make the...
Okay, now moving into the second half of our discussions up here today, because this is the Youth Symposia, because we want to hear more questions from you, but we also want to have more young leaders from different regions around the world to share different perspectives, we're going to have to thank these wonderful 5 Melbourne Youth Force leaders who are up here with us. Thank you. Please stand up.